And I'm asking you guys, would 14 make you more interested to coming to Hawaii?
All right, so what are we going to talk about? I'm traveling tomorrow, you're traveling pretty soon, so impromptu little meeting. And
yeah, 2020 is here.
2020 is here, which makes me look back to 2010, and
oh my gosh,
let's talk about that real quick, because I'm having a 10th anniversary this year.
Yep.
You were just announced the Paddler of the Decade by SUP, which I think is makes a lot of sense, and it's very reasonable.
Little goosebumps right there.
So let's just talk real quick about this past decade a little bit. Where were you 2010? You were a teenager.
Yeah, teenager, so 15 years old, and that was like 1 year into it already. So 2011, I would say, was that first year that I was getting more and more serious. I believe it was 14 and a half, that iconic photo of the Maui to Molokai with Dave and Ikolu, and you know, and I got my first paycheck from any like really sporting events, because at the time I was shortboarding, windsurfing, all the above, still trying to find my groove and what I liked, and got a check, and that kind of just like light bulb went off in the head, like, hey, I just beat some of the best here in Maui, you know, on a really gnarly run. Like, what can I do now? Like, can I go to California and go give Danny guys a run for their money? And that hunger and that dedication just all came into play. Was out here right behind us, actually, here with Bart DeSwart and Cody Kerbox, training away, doing morning runs here, some downwinders in the afternoon, and it's been flowing like that. It's been 10 years of great travel. Places I've never thought I would go, from like Chris was saying, down in Chile and Patagonia. We were going to racing with icebergs.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, you guys had an awesome travel run there on the Waterman's dime there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Going to crazy. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Crazy
that was
locations.
a saga on its own. Turtle Bay was such. I remember Turtle Bay. That was always like, I miss Turtle Bay, man.
Yeah.
That was a great venue and
great venue, and it's a 30-minute flight, so not all the way down to the southern tip of South America.
Yeah, Turtle Bay was great.
Yeah, and Abu Dhabi, and the list goes on. All these crazy places that you would never think you get to travel to, and now we're here. You know, APP, the New World's like name and branding is still going. You got Chris Parker just releasing his SUP points again, and
that was a good deed he did to everybody to bring that back.
For sure. I think that's real important for not only the elite, but all the paddlers in the sport.
And we also see how the majority of the major races, I want to say, kind of has shifted all over to Europe. Like,
for sure.
The summer tour the Euro tour in summer.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it.
And it's funny too, because I was talking about this, and it's because it seemed like Hawaii was the big boom, and then it moved to California, and then Europe really caught on late. It wasn't like, because 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, the Euro tour has only been going, what, 4 years now?
Yeah,
I think this is going to be
right.
the 5th year this year. So it really hasn't been going on that long. But then once they got it and got the taste from it, you know, it's so easy to get around Europe. You're going all these different countries, different landmarks, from coastlines to rivers, and especially in Europe, you know, with the inflatable side of things, you know, all the cars are small, apartments are small, so the sport is really blown up over there.
It's way more accessible, and now we're sitting here in Maui a little bit, and in all honesty, trying to think, like, how can we bring back the Stoke a little bit more here, because we've seen participation rates rising in Germany. It's amazing how many races they have.
Well, I mean, you look at Lake Annecy, they got over 600 entries.
And in cold weather, mind you, not like in tropical.
And Paris too. Paris too. We're in full suits and it's cold. You're waking up at 5 in the morning, and they had 1,000 paddlers at the Paris Boat Show.
Crazy.
So yeah, Europe is definitely booming.
And nobody wants to come to Maui anymore, it seems like. So
which we're gonna change. It's all coming. I think the big thing was timing. Timing was not the right time. April is not the time you come to Hawaii for downwind season. You can get very lucky and get some amazing wind and even some amazing swell. And if you think about it, that's why all the windsurfers come in April, because you got that wind to swell variable. And July is really the month. So I've been working personally with all the different events here in Hawaii, and we're going to bring them all into that month of July. So it's going to have that same vibe.
SUP months, July.
Yeah, same vibe as Europe, where, you know, you're going different places and all very close. And a lot of the races are, you know, there's a Maui to Molokai, and then the famous Maliko run right behind us, finishing right here, and then the big infamous Molokai to Oahu. So you got 3 big jam-packed events. You know, races that have been going on for a very long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully bring some stoke back to the islands and bring some of that elite athlete and talent over here.
Which brings me maybe one last point, because you guys know I like my videos always not too long. With accessibility, like if I'm thinking about from 10 years ago, and you grew up kind of like in a windsurf world, right?
Yeah.
Your mom was a professional windsurfer, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Windsurfing was very inaccessible as far as bulkiness goes, and 10
years
years ago everybody is telling the SUP is becoming the next windsurfing.
Yeah.
Now if I'm looking at the sales numbers and the type of money all those early windsurfer people made, and we're sitting here 10 years ago, not so much.
No, we didn't have that huge roar, and then I mean they did come down and now they've kind of plateaued.
Right. The windsurfing is diminished, but or not diminished, pardon me, the windsurfers, but
they're still going strong.
It's considerably small, but we never had that real where people like, I mean, selling like a $250,000.
I was gonna say, I remember stories from, you know, Uncle Matt Schweitzer, Zane's dad, coming back with 100K, like from events, winning like mad money, and having to give all his friends different cash because you can't travel with more than 10K, you know. So it's crazy how big windsurfing shot up. Robbie still to this day is an absolute living legend in Germany. Full red carpet, and he gets the full royal service out there. Yeah. And that's, I mean, of course, what we...
windsurfing was very bulky. There was no inflatable windsurfers.
You're traveling with 6 to 8 board bags, easily.
And I'm thinking, like, oh, we want to bring back the SUP to Maui, and I'm thinking, oh, accessibility, but then I'm thinking, like, everybody went out of their way to come to Maui with windsurfing. We need 3 different sails, I would think. A mast can break, easy booms.
Hokipa is yeah, it'll break your equipment
with
real
SUP,
fast.
I don't know why the people got lazy 30 years later, or Robbie in my interview there, he blamed it a little bit on the roof racks of the car and how the roof racks attached to the car, but I don't know. The more I'm thinking about it, I mean, like I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons, but that can't be all of it. I mean,
yeah, I see it here in Hawaii. The big reason was the Unlimited. Like the Unlimited is a beautiful board. It's great for channel crossings. I probably wouldn't want to paddle anything else without a rudder and, you know, 18 feet long. But to deal with a 18-foot long board when it's windy and gnarly, you need 2 people. You need 2 people to be safe. These boards are $5,000. You don't want it blowing off your roof. Right. And now with the whole surge of foiling coming in, you got a 6-foot board that's fitting in your Toyota Camry with all the foil set up, and you're doing a Maliko run under an hour. Right. You know, whereas on a stand-up traditional Unlimited, if you're on the dot, I think my fastest time, and same with Dave, is around that 57, 58 mark, you know, so
he's foiling the new windsurfing?
It could be.
Probably not.
It could be. You never know. The wing, that's the one.
It's too hard. The wing is, but
this is actually a good question. Maybe we'll get some comments and feedback too, because this first year for this Triple Crown, we're going to keep it pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and let the events run themselves like they've been running for the last few years. So Unlimited will be the class for the elite, but is that a thing? Like, what if we switched it to 14? Would that bring a surge of people in? And
what if the elite person comes from Europe, particularly for this, but they don't have an Unlimited?
That's what I'm saying, because right now, if you think about it, SIC is probably the only company that's making production Unlimiteds. Okay. Only company. Sonova's trying. You got NSP making custom boards for their riders, and Starboard wants nothing to do with it. They've made us some custom boards, but they're not. There's no market. There's not a big enough market. You're selling a $5,000 board, and you know, like goes back to the you know, you need a big storage area, a big truck, and all these things. So yeah, would 14 change that? I mean, I'm asking you guys, would 14 make you more interested in coming to Hawaii and racing the Maui to Molokai 27 miles, the Maliko run, which is very easy on the 14, and then of course the infamous, I mean, Josh has proven to us that it's doable.
He's the 14 king, man.
He's the 14
He's the king of the 14 class.
For sure. So it's all interest, you know. This year, like I said, keep it straightforward. Just want to get something started on the plate, and you know, that month of July is going to be super interesting.
All right, well, we have a crazy decade ahead of us, and
a new decade.
We have a new decade, a new decade ahead of us, and a crazy decade behind us.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just see what happens. I'll be at the boat show. You'll be doing some R&D here.
Thailand 2022 testing. I don't know why they're ahead of the
way
game.
ahead of the game. I'm just looking ahead of my nose here. So next week, SUP Talk Central. Going to be in Germany.
Oh yeah.
With everybody there.
Yeah, I
so
believe Bart, Zane, and the
Fiona's
whole crew.
going to be there again. So we're going to do SUP Talk there a lot, and then of course reconvey on that whole Maui Triple Crown thing. And hopefully we can get everybody's support with that. So
get
thank you
something
so much
sparking.
Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget your comments and your likes, please, and a share if you have it in there too. Thank you.
Aloha.